Hello everybody, welcome to the first episode of E&Ftv. This will be a weekly instalment where you'll be getting insights and knowledge from some of the industry leaders within the revenue management market. Today we have Robin Stangroom from Set Hotels, who will be taking us through his background, how he's got to where he is today, and also talking about a few things that are going on in the industry at the moment. So Robin, please tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and how you've got to be where you are today.
I've been in the hotel industry for about, I guess we're up to 18 years now. I actually started as a switchboard operator in a hotel up in Warwickshire, and really kind of worked my way through reception, front office manager, and very much then through the traditional path at that point into revenue management, which was reservations. So I did reservations manager for several years, and eventually moved to London, where I started with IHG for only a year actually. Then joined the Jumeirah Group, who I was with for 4 years. Their 3 properties in London, and most recently for the past 5 years here with the Set Hotels. First beginning solely with Cafe Royal, with our London hotel, and then more recently, the past 3 years, a group role looking after the 3 properties and the revenue teams at each property.
So Robin, tell me your view on how the revenue management industry has evolved over the last, say, 20 years.
Yeah, and I think as a function, revenue management has evolved at a greater pace than any other role within our industry. It's certainly still one of the newest roles. It's been around 20 years, but in relative terms to other positions, that's quite short. I think, when I look back to how it was in my early days, it was an incredibly different role to what it is today. It was much more focused on, the kind of more mundane tasks of updating channel managers manually and lifting the rate by £20, dropping it by £20 there, closing a promotion. It was very kind of clinical in terms of the daily tasks you carried out. And I think it's evolved massively to today, where it's seen much more as a commercial leading role, I would say. Back then, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, maybe even kind of 7 or 8 years ago, you would be seen very much kind of locked in a cupboard on your own in a dark room, typing away, doing your pricing, all of that kind of stuff, and not really interacting much with the rest of the business.
Yeah.
Just maybe a bit extreme, but today the revenue function simply can't operate without that daily interaction with the sales teams, the marketing teams, PR, digital, obviously reservations, even front office when it comes to kind of a daily upsell opportunities and maximising revenue once the guest is in-house. So yeah, I think today the role is, I would say, and it's getting more and more this way, leading the commercial team. And when I say that, I mean you're very much directing their efforts. You're the one that is saying, we've got a shortfall coming up in the next 6 months or whatever, on this particular channel, this particular segment. We're, not producing enough from this particular region. And there's so many tools now that help the revenue manager to do that.
Yes.
And you do become that one kind of single point of truth within the hotel. So, I think another key thing today is revenue management is all about, obviously, new skills that you need today, which you wouldn't have needed in the earlier days, is great communication skills, great presentation skills, a strong personality, someone that can listen to others, but also, be quite firm in sticking to the facts and what's really happening. And on that point, I think integrity is absolutely key in the role as well. Like I say, there's a huge amount of responsibility on you that you're telling people how they need to spend their time and efforts within their own roles. And if you're not giving them the right direction, or not, just flippantly saying we need more of this business when actually there's nothing to back that up, or you haven't done your research or spoken to the right people, it can be quite costly both to the business and to the people around you.
Yeah. Okay. So, Robin, tell me a bit about the challenges that you see in terms of recruiting revenue managers in this market that we're seeing today. Of course, I'm here, obviously, to help. But in terms of the struggles that you believe that either Set Hotels have seen or the wider industry.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because, again, I think because the role has changed so much, the kind of person you're trying to recruit has also changed. You know, traditionally, the natural path was to go from reservations into revenue management. That's just how it happened. Not sure there was any particular reason why that was always the case, but I think it's very important to understand that that is not necessarily the natural path anymore. Reservations as a function has not changed dramatically. It doesn't need to. It's been established for a long time, whereas revenue has changed dramatically. And you know, the character you need to be revenue is much more analytical, much more geared towards a sales or marketing mentality than maybe before, when it was more like, say, clinical, functional reservations type things of, you know, checking rates and checking bookings that have come in the previous day and all that kind of stuff. It's not that anymore, quite simply. That should be the thing that the machines are doing for you today, which leaves you time to be a free thinker and really kind of, you know, thinking strategically of what's going to drive your business forward. So I think when it comes to recruitment, in a good way, you know, we can be much more open about who we're looking at. You're looking very much for a character. Of course, you need someone that's analytically minded and can kind of structure themselves in the right way. But it's, you know, it's one of those things here. We're really starting to look at people outside of our industry as well. I think, you know, one of the challenges of the hotel industry is we don't do that enough. You know, we go kind of round in circles, and you know, we're always looking for someone that has 5 years in exactly the same role, exactly the same level of hotel or location or whatever, which, you know, of course you can understand why that is, but you really are going to struggle to be a leader in the market and reinvent yourselves if that's your mentality all the time. So in, you know, obviously not all of our roles, but quite a few key roles within our group, for example, we have actually purposely gone out of our industry and looked at how others are doing it. I wouldn't necessarily just stick to recruitment in those terms as well. Same with technology and same with marketing practices and things like that. You know, we quite often look at tech firms or so many other industries, fashion industry, where, you know, they do some of these things very successfully. So, yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, I would have no concerns today recruiting someone that's perhaps from another industry or even just come out of college and has, you know, learned all of the revenue management practices of today, but maybe hasn't had the chance yet to apply that within an actual work environment. Because in a way they actually come with a fresh mind and a fresh way of thinking, and that's exactly what we need in the industry today.
So something that we've obviously spoken about prior, but tell me a bit about what you're doing at the moment to support and develop your current revenue management staff.
Yeah, we're obviously we're a small hotel group at the moment, just 3 hotels, but you know, we're very passionate owners who have very ambitious expansion plans, and that's kind of this year that we're looking to do that. So one of the really key things for us is, you know, firstly, to make sure everything we do, every system we use, every person we employ is a leader in the industry or someone that can kind of carve out their own path. So that, you know, when it comes to attracting new hotels, we have some very strong USPs to show them. When it comes to revenue management, we are constantly investing in our team, again, because we see every year the growing importance that they're having on our results and on the performance of the teams around them. But also for that reason, you know, we are, I would say, very strong in promoting from within. And, you know, if we're going to add hotels, we want to be able to pass on that expertise and continue to build the set culture as quickly as possible within those hotels. So, you know, for example, we have in our next workshop, we do regular workshops where the whole revenue teams from each hotel will come and gather in London, Paris, Amsterdam. We which is a great way for them to all get to know each other better and learn best practices and so on. And the next one, we have a coach coming to spend a couple of days with us during this workshop to really give the team some one-on-one time in terms of presenting skills, influencing skills. So again, the revenue role today is, you have your weekly commercial meeting where you'll be talking to, say, a director of sales, a director of marketing, a general manager, every role really, a front office manager and so on. In many hotels, you have owners' meetings where they'll regularly come and expect an update. On a daily basis, you're talking to, say, your reservations team, your reception team, lots of different people that you need to talk to present to, or to convince, and all of which will have a different perspective on what you're saying and might need to be convinced in a different way. And of course, again, going back to the integrity thing, it's absolutely critical that firstly, the message you're giving is the right one, but secondly, that people are understanding it and able to then follow through on it. So, that's something we're doing to enhance their ability to really communicate and confidently present what it is they're trying to say. I've got no doubt, revenue managers out there absolutely know what they're talking about, but one of the new skills we really need to keep developing is being able to project that to the other departments who are still probably kind of learning what revenue management is all about, even though they work with these people every day. So that's one of the things, and we do regular workshops like this, we attend conferences, just really, because we're a small group, we're able to be quite agile and entrepreneurial and really just kind of constantly thinking of the next best thing that's going to come along in 12 months time, or how we can improve things in 12 months time. That constant long-term approach to try and make us a leader in the market despite our size.
Yeah. Right, Robin, thank you so much for your time.
Very welcome.
Giving us your insight. I think there's a lot to sort of think about from there, and a lot of innovation that you guys are doing as a business, which is really interesting. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you tune into the next episode and check out who's going to be on the next week.